Ramakrishnan, I want to ask you that do you think that pretty much what he talks about, we've all heard it before? Say no to third language, say no to NEET, say no to one nation, one poll, say no to Waqf, everything. What is then the difference? Is it only because that he comes with one thing, and that is he appeals to the youth, and also he does not have the dynastic tag behind him, Ramakrishnan?
Of course, he has not offered anything fresh, anything new to the people of Tamil Nadu. But what he senses is that there is some sort of vacuum, okay, post Karnataka, post Jayalalitha period. He is positioning to occupy a considerable portion of the space, and then perhaps term or even in about 10 years, he can emerge as one of the principal political forces. So, and then he
Yeah.
doesn't want to up the existing the political narrative or discourse. So on various issues. So he doesn't want to take any stand that is different from what others or most of the people have done. So there is nothing surprising as far as his stand on various issues is concerned. Perhaps he feels that that will help him in in the medium or long run.
Ramakrishnan, I want to, you said the vacuum that has been because of Kalangir and J. Jayalalitha. Vijay can't compare himself because he's a newbie. He's a new kid on the block. Not that he will not do it after 10, 12 years. He's so new. Another thing is, if you look at J. Jayalalitha, not talking about Kalangir, although he also has his origins in cinema, the point is that in recent times, Tamil Nadu has not thrown up any big actors as politicians. What happened to Kamala Hassan? Big actor. Captain Vijay Kant. We've all seen them falling by the way. Somehow, Tamil Nadu, there's been a tectonic shift. They know very well that these actors may not make consummate politicians. Do you agree, Ramakrishnan, before I go to the TVK spokesperson?
That is, not every actor makes a consummate politician, but the one thing is the age is on the side of Vijay. Okay, let us not gloss over that fact. And then perhaps Vijay would have studied the. That's what I understand. Because he would have studied the examples of Kamal Hassan and Vijay. Of course, the Kamal Hassan, as far as Kamal Hassan is concerned, that it was a surprise that he chose to come. At least Vijay Kant and very many others, they were all preparing themselves, but still they couldn't make it. But let us, Vijay also has been preparing himself for this, for the plunge in politics. So the point is that he has not been able to offer anything new. To be, prefers to adopt a very cautious approach. That is, he doesn't to
Let me
say
go
something
to, yeah,
radically different.
yeah. And your audio, there is some problem, Ramakrishnan. I am not able to hear very well. Maybe you have to get it corrected. Let me go to Mr. Jamaldeen. Mr. Jamaldeen, Vanakkam.
Yes,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Good evening. Vanakkam, ma'am.
Good evening. You know,
Yeah.
what is easier if I'm asking the question because the more the merrier, Mr. Jamaldeen. If he's somebody who's going to change things in Tamil Nadu in 2026, very good.
Yes.
But you know, you read all the resolutions, you know, what he talks about, the main ones as it were. You know, he says that one is a political adversary, the other is an ideological adversary, DMK as well as Bajka. I want to ask you, why should any person consider him as a political force to reckon with? Mr. Jamaldeen, your turn. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, ma'am. This is actually Vijay is though he is new, but he is not new to the public. He is already in the people's mind. He is already in the people's kitty, and he is going to establish himself as a politician with the entry in 2026. The change will happen when the people give the verdict. So that's the initial step. The people will give TVK, that is to Vijay, as their leader, and that will make the change, initial change. After that, when he gets the verdict, he will provide the change what is required for the next 5 years. So to
Mr.
the people,
Jamaldeen,
what is the,
yeah,
yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Jamaldeen, we need to understand because when he talks about anti-NEET, he says we
Yes.
do not want Hindi imposition, we do not want third language in this
Yes.
in Tamil Nadu,
Yes.
we do not
Yes.
want NEET, we do not
Yes.
want others, you know, to divide Hindus, Muslims, Christians, etc., etc. Very good.
Yes. Yes.
Samuttavam, secular social ideology. Samuttavam,
Ideology.
exactly what the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam has been saying. What is
But
different?
the different is, main thing is what he spoke, what our head leader Vijay spoke is the corruption. We oppose the corruptive DMK. That is what he clearly mentioned in the thing, and that we want to clear out that corruption attitude of the present DMK ruling. So that is the main thing we are opposing DMK. We want to give a non-corrupt government to the people.
Also, Mr. Jamaldeen, I think you are veering more towards the Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, ADMK, you know, because that's one party that you've really not attacked. Your leader has not attacked at all. So, have you kept the doors open, sir?
No, we have kept the doors open to all ideal minds, ideal people. That's what he had mentioned, that we welcome people with ideal thoughts, ideal minds, and we are ready to gather them
Sir,
and join with them. That is
there is
so,
no political party which is not corrupt, sir. You know and I know. That's an ideal utopian idea. It does not exist anywhere. It's a fantasy. Because ADMK, if I start doing a show on the corruption charges against them, it will take at least a year. To Ramakrishnan, let me come to you. I'll come to you, sir. Ramakrishnan, I want to ask you, this no corruption, no corruption. The man is a great actor. He's a star. He's a goat, you know, to play on his last film. But the point is, what corruption? He's just started out. They all started out like this, no? Whether it is Yedapadi Palaniswamy, whether it is OPS, I mean, all of them started. So, I don't understand that, you know, just by saying I will not be corrupt, don't you think that's very silly? Because every politician ultimately is corrupt.
Okay, that's a perception, at least. The popular perception is that every politician is corrupt. But the point here is that, you see, he wants to create a strong base among the youth. Okay, the youth who have a lot of aspirations to fulfill. So, and then also I think he wants to build a base among women. So these are the two target constituencies which he apparently is having at present. So I think only if you say that he will have a zero tolerance towards corruption, his stock will rise. So that maybe that is his calculation. Of course, everybody knows that in politics, in due course of time, many people become corrupt, but not necessarily everyone. But the point is at least, so he wants to project himself as a savior, anti-corruption crusader, and through which he feels that he can build a base among the youth and the women.